You're listening to the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast with Chicago attorney Dave Scriven-Young. This podcast is brought to you by Anchor, which is the app that I use to record and edit the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, so let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so that it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 205 of the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast for May 22nd, 2020. My name is Dave Scriven-Young, an attorney from Chicago, Illinois, and I'll be your host. This podcast takes you on a daily journey to discover key principles in the areas of marketing, sales, and leadership for attorneys. So we're continuing our leadership discussion with John C. Maxwell's book, Leadershift, and we've moved to the discussion where Maxwell is discussing who should you mentor. And I think that this discussion, I'm going to do some quick hits with these episodes, but I think what's important to remember is he's looking at it from a mentor perspective. So in other words, what qualities of a mentee are you looking for? Because, face it, everyone's time is limited. You can't mentor everyone. Yes, you could probably do like a group coaching or something like that, but if you're really doing one-on-one mentorship, you have a very limited amount of time because you have your legal practice, you have business development, family, everything else that you do on a daily basis, and then you're adding in this mentorship component as well. And so whether that's doing lunches or phone calls or Zoom calls or what have you, you have a limited amount of time. So you want to make sure that you're picking the right person to mentor. On the other hand, I think this is a great discussion also for someone who wants to be a mentee. So in other words, if you are looking for someone to mentor you in a specific area, let's just say, diet. That's the one that I feel like I keep using in this because I probably need a mentor in that area myself. But let's just say you're looking for someone who is a diet person or an exercise person, someone who's a leader in that area, someone who is, has a, face of a great body, somebody who, has what you want. And that's what you're looking for in a mentor, someone who has what you want, someone who got there ethically. And so as a mentee, you want to show that you have these qualities. So starting with the first quality, is this person hungry to learn? So what does that mean? It means that you are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed in your goals. So if you're looking for a mentor in the diet or exercise space, then you would be willing to basically do whatever it took to get the kind of body to reach the goals that you want. And so you want to convince the mentor that you are willing to do that. So Maxwell says that there's a difference between hope and hunger. So hope says, well, there must be a way. Hunger says, I will make a way. And then a person with hope is someone who you may have to convince to follow your advice. And so, in other words, if you're looking for a mentor in the area of diet or exercise, and they come to you and they say, well, this is what I do on a daily basis, and then you come back as a mentee with, well, I don't know if that's going to work for me because of X, Y, or Z, or I don't know, how much does that cost? You have a bunch of questions. Then you're not hungry, and you show that you're a hungry person by investing whatever it is that this mentor is asking you to invest, whether that's money for a gym membership or gym equipment, or an app that will help you track, macros or your calories or your fat, or, to invest into a weight or a video program. If you want to have a mentor and you want to succeed and you want to convince somebody to take you on as a mentee, you have to be willing to go all in. You have to be willing to show that you're hungry, because there are so many people out there who are asking for advice and then they don't take it or they question. There's I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, and he does, this morning advice show that he's been doing since the pandemic started called Tea with Gary V. And I don't have the time to watch every episode, but I do click in from time to time. And somebody actually made a social media post about it, where somebody would ask a question to Gary. Gary would give this person just excellent, fantastic advice. And then the person would come back and question that advice or say, well, I don't know if that would work because of this, or I don't know about this. I don't know about what my parents would say, this and that. And then, you have this person that you're coming to that I don't even know how you get on the show, but that you fought and scratched to get on the show to get, 5 minutes with Gary Vaynerchuk because you believe in what he says and you believe in his advice. And then when he gives you that advice, instead of accepting it and then maybe asking about the next step or how to implement it further, they're questioning that advice. That doesn't show that you're hungry. You're not showing that you believe in your mentor. And so for your daily action item, I want you to think about a couple of different things. What area in specific, and I think we talked about this earlier, but if you're looking for a mentor in a specific area, how are you going to start showing that you're hungry? How are you willing to show this person that you're able to go all in on whatever methods that they want you to implement or to invest in? Now, obviously, there's a limit. You don't want to get involved in a cult. You don't want to, sign over your life savings to somebody. But there are unreasonable demands that, at least on its face, seem unreasonable. Spending $1,000 for a coaching program, or spending, however much it is, per month or on a yearly basis to invest in a gym or a video program. To some people, that seems completely unreasonable. But if you really want to see results, then you have to invest time, resources, your all into whatever program your mentor is willing to is telling you to get into. So that's your daily action item for today. Today is just a quick hit. Tomorrow we're going to go into more qualities of mentees, so stay tuned. But I would love to invite you to join in the discussion. Let me know if you are a mentor, if this is a challenge for you, where you've given people advice and they haven't taken it. Alternatively, if you're a mentee, how are you going to change your thought capacity and your ability to show people that you are hungry for advice, but not only that you're hungry for advice, but they're also hungry to implement that advice no matter what the cost. So you can join me in the discussion by leaving me a voicemail by going to anchor.fm/attorneydsy and hitting that message button. You can also leave me a comment for me to play on the show or a question for me to answer. You can also leave me a comment or a question on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at AttorneyDSY, and I'm also on LinkedIn. So let me know if you have any comments about this episode. Tell me what you think about this podcast, or give me a topic you'd like to hear about. This podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, TuneIn, and Anchor. So please be sure to subscribe and rate and review. I also want to invite you into the next session of the Lawyer's Emotional Intelligence Book Club. Continuing on with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee's book, The Stress Solution. The next session will be Wednesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. Central. You can find out more at facebook.com/lawyersEQ. Have a great day or night, and remember to fight for the lifestyle that you want and become the rainmaker that you need to be.